Hey everyone, it's Laura Milligan, and welcome to my Facebook Live Take 2. This is a continuation of the Facebook Live that I did on Monday. I featured the All Squared Away bundle from the annual catalog, and so I'm gonna kind of step up the cards that I made on Monday. So let me switch my camera down. If this is your first time watching, thank you for being here. If you are a frequent watcher, thank you for coming back. I appreciate it. So let me switch my camera down. Okay, so I have to tell you the big news of the day is that we have free shipping. And that is only for 24 hours. It started last night. It ends tonight at 11:59 Mountain Time. So depending on what time zone you're in, you'll need to figure that out. I recommend ordering sooner rather than later. And you can order you can order from our last chance list and our clearance rack. You can get bundles, blends, anything that you want pretty much is going to be free shipping today if you have a minimum product order of $50 or more. And then of course I have my freebie rewards program. Sorry, I've got a tongue twister there. And so anytime you spend $50 in product with me, you get a B. And once you get 10 Bs, you get a $40 shopping spree. So that you can do that today as well. So it's like a win-win situation. If your order is $150 or more, you would get free shipping, you would get host rewards, and you would get 3 of my Bs. So you'd be well on your way to reaching that 10B goal, and then you'd get your free product. All right, I will be mentioning this again at the end of this, but that's like the big news of the day. So I wanted to show you real quickly. These were the 2 cards. Hi Colleen, hi Myra. So these are the 2 cards that I created on Monday, and this one was very simple. I used the Pale Papaya ink as my color scheme, and then this one was basically the same layout. I just used the squared away dies, floral square dies, and popped up one panel here just to add some interest. And these are these loose flower flourishes, which I am loving. So those are the 2 cards that I made on Monday, and I'm going to use the same color palette for today, but I want to kick up the 2 cards a little bit. And don't forget that if you leave a comment or share this Facebook Live in any crafty groups that you might be in, or with crafty friends that you have, you'll be entered to win these cards in a drawing. I always send these cards out to someone that has commented or shared my post. So go ahead and comment and share away. All right, so the first card I'm going to make today, let me pull out all the parts and pieces. So it is a stepped up version of this card. I'm just going to kick it up a little bit. So I'm going to use, on Monday when I did this, I used my Stamparatus, and I'm going to use it again today. And I'm going to start with a 4x4 piece of basic white cardstock. And I left these stamps right in place as they were, but when I stamped this on Monday, my paper was 4x5 1/4, and so it was positioned, to the left. But for this one, today I'm using a square shape, and so I needed to adjust the placement of my cardstock. I thought that would be easier than repositioning all the stamps since they were nice and straight in there. So I practiced, I inked it up and stamped it on my little grid paper, and I just sort of eyeballed where I wanted it to be placed, and that seemed to be about right. And then I tested it. I made a sample, which is this one, and that looked like it was, pretty good placement. I was happy with that. So what I did was I just made a line here so that I knew where to line up this 4x4 square. It's not flush into the corner like it was when I did it on Monday, because it was a different shape of cardstock. So I'm going to just line this up here with the line that I drew. And hi Anne Marie. I hope Debbie joins us today. I know it's her birthday. We have to wish her a happy birthday. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this up with my Pale Papaya. Love this color. I love all our new ink colors. I know I keep saying that, but I think for the most part, everybody agrees that our ink colors this year are really, really nice. So I'm going to give this a good push, good press, and okay, I'm going to do it again, and that, of course, is the beauty of the Stamparatus. I feel like some of these I want to ink up just a little bit better. Okay. Okay, yeah, that looks great. Okay, so I'm going to set my Stamparatus aside and go to work at assembling this card. So, although, and actually, you know, real quickly, I'm gonna go ahead and stamp my words on this. So this is, let me just show you real quickly. This is the stamp set all squared away, part of the bundle, and for this one, I'm just gonna stamp the Good Things Grow, and I am stamping that in So Succulent ink. I'm sorry, Soft Succulent ink. So we'll ink that up, stamp that on here. And I'm stamping it a little bit on the left-hand side, towards the left. All right. And then I'm going to take my paper snips and just snip. I'll make a V. That. Okay, and then what I did was I used the die cuts, and these, let me show you the dies that I used. But I cut out the four different floral squares that are included in this, and they're so cute. So there's that one, that one. So these are the four shapes, the four dies, and let me pull my little die sheet over here. So it's these four. You can use these in the mini cut and emboss machine, or of course the regular cut and emboss machine, but I zipped it through, they came out just beautifully. So obviously they're all white. I used the basic white cardstock, and I'm going to add just a little bit of color to these. And I'm going to start with, I'm using a sponge dauber. It's almost like a thimble. You can put it on your finger and just pick up some ink color. So I'm going to go ahead and just dab a little bit. And what I like to do is kind of do it on my scrap paper first, just to make sure I don't have too much. And then I'm just going to softly add some color. Now, there's other ways to add color to these. You could use blends if you wanted to. We have blends in all of these new ink colors, which would be really pretty, but I wanted just a super soft look. And then I'm going to take another sponge dauber. So what you can do, so this one is kind of a purplish, so I could use this on other purples that I might have. But you don't want to mix, like you wouldn't want to take that purple and maybe put it in with a yellow, because that would probably not be so pretty. It would probably turn out brown. Now I'm going to take, this is Soft Succulent, and I'm just going to do the same thing, just carefully dab some ink on that, just to add a little bit of color. I like it both ways. I like it, I like these when they're pure white, but I also I think it's kind of fun to add a bit of color. So there's the first one. And then I am going to keep two of these white, but this one I'm going to kind of mimic the colors and just do the same thing. Oh, I'm glad you think Debbie's out with her husband on a boat today. That's exciting. She'll probably watch the replay. Okay, so I'm going to add some soft color to this. And then I'm going to bring in my fresh freesia again and add some color to the flower. So just a little bit of soft color to that, just to kick it up a little bit. All right, let me put my inks away so that I don't get them somewhere they shouldn't be. Okay, so then I'm going to take my square and I'll just put these, I'll just attach each of these to the square, and I'm going to attach them just with my Tombow liquid glue. Oh, it is Debbie. Hi, Debbie. Happy birthday. Oh, she's in the middle of Lake St. Clair fishing, and that's awesome. I'm surprised you could get service out there. Well, happy birthday, Debbie. I hope you have a great day. Okay, so I am just going to add a little bit of the liquid glue to the back, mainly just around the edge. Like that. Put these in place. And I think adding the color, you know, with that color, the pale papaya behind, and then adding the pop of color on the dies, I think is really cute. I think it makes it, just kind of pops that, I don't know, it seems like it makes the background pop out more. All right. That's going to go down here. So we'll just kind of center that on that. Of course, they fit perfectly on the stamps because they were designed to go together. All right, then I'm just going to attach these. Now these, you know, of course, I did not add any color, but I liked the contrast with a little bit of white and then a little bit of color. Thought it was kind of interesting, an interesting way to do it. So that's going to go here. And the nice thing about using this liquid glue is you have a little bit of wiggle room when you set it down. Hi, Tennessee Gran. The liquid glue gives you a little bit of wiggle room, so. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add that. That's gonna go right there. Oh wait, I picked up the wrong thing. You know what, this is an extra one, and you know what, I'm gonna just stick this on here because I wanna experiment and try something. That would have been fine, but I actually have one of the different images, so I'm gonna put that on the back. Put glue on the back of this and put that on my 4 square here. And again, I'm just dabbing a little bit of glue around the edges, mainly on the corners, just a little bit. And again, I have that wiggle room so that it allows me to position it right over that stamped square. So I'm gonna I have not tried this, but I'm gonna pull out my fresh freesia. Oh, this is Fleur de Flamingo. Wait, hold on. Here's my fresh freesia. I'm gonna just pull out, I didn't really plan to do this, but since I have glue on the back of this and I stuck it on here, I want to see what it looks like to use a blend and just add some color to this flower, because I think it would be pretty. Yeah, so you could definitely use the blend to add some color. Probably make that current like, yeah, so that's another option. I kind of like the soft, it depends on, I guess, the card you're making and the look you want, but I kind of like the softness of this. It's kind of splotchy looking, but I don't know, I sort of like it. Okay, so now we're going to put this together on our card. And this is Pale Papaya. Go ahead and crease that. And then that is going to just go right here. It would be cute as a square card, but I just decided to use the standard card. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that to my card base with my stamp and seal. Okay. And that's just going to go over here a little bit to the left, like that. And then I'm going to add my greeting. Good things grow. And I'm going to put that just right across there, and I want it to hang over a little bit, so I'm just going to position that right there like that. And then I am going to add some embellishments. Well, the other thing too, I'm going to add, this is a panel, it's cut 4 by 5 1/4. Anytime I'm using a colored cardstock for my card base, I like to line the card with a panel of the basic white. I just think it finishes it and it just makes it look nice. So I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to stamp this. This stamp, also from the set, says good things grow, and then ... like our friendship. So I'm going to go ahead and add that with my soft succulent ink. Hi Judy, how are you? So Debbie, are you going out for dinner tonight on your birthday? I'm just curious. So there's the inside. I hope you're doing something fun on your birthday. All right, so there's the card, and now I'm gonna just add some embellishments. And you know the cards that I made on Monday were, hi Jeannie, how are you? The cards that I made on Monday, I used these, I always have to look at the name, Loose Flower Flourishes. I have fallen in love with these. I want to use them on everything. So I'm going to take a few of these and embellish. So I just like to attach them with glue dots. I'm going to open this up and put it flat, but let's see, I'm going to get some big and little. Whoops. And I think I'll pick up one of the fresh freesia, maybe a small one. You actually get a lot of these in the packet. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and attach these. I think these go a long way. Okay, I'm going to put one there. Find my other little pink one. I'll put that there. They're just cute, right? That's just cute. Okay, and then this one I'm going to put right here. Wants to stick to I have glue on my fingers now, so they want to stick a little bit. Put that one there, and then I'll take this other large one and I'll just put that right there. Okay, so there is the first card, and you can see from the one I made on Monday, you know, it's just, this is just stepped up. I've added, you know, more of the floral square dies and added a little bit of color. So that's just a stepped up version of this one. So now I have another stepped up version that I'm going to do for my last card today. And I brought in a couple different things. So for this one, first of all, I'm going to start by I'm going to clean off these stamps. I'm not going to be using the Stamparatus for these because I want to stamp these in 4 different colors. So I'm going to use my Stampin' Chamois. I've actually cut mine in half, and you can see it's very well loved, but it works really well to get ink off your stamps. And if you're, sometimes when you're using this Stamparatus, people have a tendency to get ink all over this plate, and I do, but for some reason today I didn't. But normally that's something that happens, and so it's great for wiping off these clear plates as well. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to pull each one of these off and set my Stamparatus aside. And I'm just going to mount these. And again, I am going to be using the In Colors, our new In Colors. So I'm going to go ahead and just put these on the blocks. I'm going to do these in a second, but I'm just going to take a piece of the basic white cardstock and stamp each one of these. So the first one, I'm going to stamp this one in polished pink. So we'll go ahead and get that inked up. Stamp that. Okay, that looks good. And then this wavy one, I'm going to stamp in Soft Succulent. It's fun to use these in colors. Well, I keep saying this, but they just go so well together. Hi, Marianne, how are you? So good to see you checking in. I always get the scoop about you from your sister-in-law, Lucy, who is adorable. We love her. So there's the second one. That is in Soft Succulent. I'm going to grab my Stampin' Chamois again and just quickly clean these off. Oh, Debbie, you're not catching any fish today? Oh, well. It's always more fun to fish when you're catching fish, but I guess it doesn't always work that way. We need to tell the fish it's your birthday and you need to catch some, right? All right, cleaning these off because I'm going to reuse these blocks. I just brought 2 extra blocks over with me. Okay, so I'm going to just put these 2 remaining squares on here, and let's see, I need to do one in Fresh Freesia. Here's my ink. Hi, Helen, good to see you. Thanks for joining in. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and stamp this one. Now I could do all the same stamp for these, but it's kind of fun to switch up the patterns. These patterns on these stamps are so cute. Okay, so there's that one. And then the last one I am going to do in Pale Papaya. So I'll have all 4 of these squares. I'm gonna ink that up. Okay, that looks kind of pale. I'm gonna ink that up again. And you know what, I'm gonna just do that. See if it'll fit. Yeah, I think it'll fit there. That works. Okay, a little bit darker. That looks good. It's a soft color. All right, so I'm gonna set those inks aside, and then what I'm gonna do is grab my paper trimmer, and I could use my paper snips or my paper trimmer, but what I wanna do is just, and I'm not sure, let me turn this, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this. There we go. I'm just gonna trim, I'm just gonna line this up and trim these squares real quickly with my paper trimmer. So you could either, if you know, do it quickly with your paper snips. I just decided to do it with my paper trimmer. Whoops. Okay, so there's one. Bear with me here. The card's gonna be cute. You're gonna like it. It's worth waiting to see what I'm doing here, but okay, so I'm gonna do that one. There's the second one. My Fresh Freesia. Whoops, that one I need to move over a little bit. That's better. We finally have a nice day here. The sun is shining, and gosh, doesn't that make a difference? I think it was on Monday, I was afraid that that it was going to start thunderstorming. I think that was Monday. Okay, so there's that one, the Fresh Freesia, and then I'm just going to cut the Pale Papaya. So are you liking, whoops, are you liking the this all squared away bundle? I'm just curious what you think. I said on Monday, it really caught my eye when at first glance, when I looked through when I got my hands on the brand new catalog, it just kind of popped out at me because I thought it was different. And I like, we're always looking for different things. So fun to switch things up a little bit and fun to get some new products in your hands. So, all right, so there are my 4 squares, Polished Pink, Soft Succulent, Fresh Freesia, and Pale Papaya, and I love the different patterns on these stamps. I think they're really, really cute. All right, so now I'm gonna, this is my stepped up card. So the other thing I did was I took a panel of pale papaya and I ran it through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I used some new embossing folders. They are called Thanks and Hello, and these are the mini ones, so they fit in that mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. So for this one I used the Hello, and let me hold this. Look at the detail, isn't that pretty? It says hello in all different languages. Super cute. All different size fonts too. I love this. And then the other one is a thanks, and again, it's in different languages. Danke, thanks, grazie, gracias. So cute. So those are called the Thanks and Hello mini embossing folders. All right. So I'm going to put that, I'm going to start with my pale papaya base, and I'm going to go ahead and attach this panel to my card front. I'm just going to run across the top here. So hopefully you're all excited about our free shipping offer today. I know I am. Stampin' Up! Doesn't offer free shipping very often, and it's something we all want to take advantage of. I'm taking advantage of it. I put in some orders today. So, okay, I'm going to bring in my little panels here, my little squares, and I am going to grab my dies and just position these. These are going to go right on top of my squares here. So we're going to do that one. This one is going to go on here. I could put these on anyway, but I'm trying to duplicate my sample card that I made. So I'm going to go ahead and do that like that. I hope I didn't cut these too small. I might have. Oops, I think I did. Anyway, okay, well, I will show you. We'll just make it work. I think I'll be okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and attach these cutouts to the backs of these squares. So how I'm going to do that is to just add a little bit of adhesive, my liquid glue, to the centers here. And again, like I said, there's a little bit of wiggle room, so I'm going to just position this as best I can. Yeah, and I cut these too small, but I did my finished sample right, so you'll see. I actually could probably just stamp them all again, but so I'm going to just show you though. So you would do this, you would add okay, so that's going to go on there like that. Do my green. I love this one. I think it's really cute. That's going to go on there like that. I think I need to put a little dab of glue up here. I think I just got a little excited about using my paper trimmer and trimming those up. I should have left a little bit of white showing around the edge, but that's okay. You will get the idea. And I do have a finished one that is perfect. So, okay, so I'm going to just attach this one there on the pink. That's going to go on there like that. And just look at, it's just fun. Whoops. It's fun to show these different colors, I think, behind the white. And Colleen is saying she likes the white floral dyes, the solid white floral dyes. I agree. So there's the one on the polished pink. And then I have, I used the dies and cut out a couple little flowers. And so those are, this flower here, and then these three little ones. I use those, and I'm just going to add these to the white. I'm gonna add this one to right on the white panel, like that. It's gonna go on there like that. And then these other 3 teeny ones, I'm gonna just add, there's 2, I've lost one. These are nice because you can cut 3 at the same time, which makes it easier. So I'm gonna go ahead and just dab a little bit of glue on here. Touch that. Whoops, oh my goodness. I have sticky fingers today apparently. So that's gonna be on there like that. Attach another one. Okay, and then I'm going to just add another one here, and it's going to just sort of rest above these 2. So that's going to go there like that. And they're sticking to my fingers. That's okay. All right, so that one, if it will stick, it's going to go right there. Okay, so like that. So cute. Isn't that cute? All right, so then what I'm going to do is position these like this. Put that one there. Put that one. So these are just going to be centered on here. And I'm going to show you my finished one because I made a little boo-boo and cut these squares too small right now. But like I said, my finished one is done the right way. So there's that, and those are just going to be attached. I popped those up with dimensionals. And then let me just bring this in. I'm going to bring my finished one in and just talk to you about how I did it. So I popped these all up, and see how these are, the color fills in the whole white square. That was a boo-boo that I did on my sample today, but when I was making this for you. But I've added a greeting. The best thing about today is you, which I love. I just added a piece of the Pale Papaya ribbon. Love this ribbon, so easy to work with and so soft and pretty. And then again, I added a few of the little floral embellishments. And so that was my card. And then again, I would go ahead and add, here's my little panel. I always add a panel on the inside of my card. Since my liquid glue is here, I'm just gonna use that to attach this. Okay, and that will go right on there like that. And that is my card. So I don't know which one. I'm going to bring in all 4 of these now that I've shared with you this week. And I'm curious, I don't know that I could pick a favorite. I sort of like all of them, and I think, you know, there are times when you need different cards. There's times when you need something super quick, which this would be perfect for. There's times maybe you want to just step it up a little bit, which is what this one would be. And then these 2 are more stepped up. This one being the most stepped up because I've added the embossing folder, more color, and you know, a little bit more detail. So I don't know, what do you think? Do you have a favorite? Love this bundle. It is called All Squared Away, and don't forget that today, I'm going to bring my little thing in here. So today we have free shipping, today only. So if you're interested in this All Squared Away bundle, I think it is priced over $50 for the stamp set and the dies, so that would qualify for free shipping. If you place an order today of $75 or more, I'm going to not only send you a handmade thank you card, but also I will add a pack of dimensionals in there for you as well. So if you go to lauramilligan.com, you will see a shopping cart that you can click on, and that will take you right to my online store. So don't forget to take advantage of the free shipping today. I know that people are buying blends and some of the bundles, the All Squared Away bundle. I hope I've convinced you that you need to add it to your collection. It's different than what we've had before, and just fun. And obviously there's so many things you can do with it, way more than even what I've showed you today. So thank you so much for joining me today. And I'm excited to see what you all pick out for your free shipping. And I will look forward to seeing you again on Monday. Thanks, everyone. As always, I hope you have time to be creative today. Bye-bye.